This is the famous solo thru hiker, Emma Grandma Gatewood. After an already storied and difficult life, she was the first woman to hike the 2,168-mile Appalachian Trail alone. And she did it with Ked sneakers and only about 15 to 17 pounds of gear. Her father was a drunk gambling addict Civil War amputee, and her 14 siblings lived in poverty in a log cabin, sleeping 4 to a bed. When she was just 19 in 1907, she got married to a primary school teacher turned tobacco farmer who turned out to be an abusive piece of shit. In addition to raising all those kids, she was made to do hard physical labor like building fences, burning tobacco beds, and mixing concrete. And a lot of the times when things would get bad, she would run to the woods for solitude and to write poetry. Finally, after 33 years of abuse, her husband tried to get her arrested when she threw a sack of flour at him. But she had a broken rib and a cracked tooth, and it was pretty apparent that she was the victim in that situation. They were living in West Virginia now, and the mayor of a nearby town offered her a job and a place to live. 2 years later, in 1941, she was granted a divorce, which was rare at the time, and got custody of her 3 youngest children, who were 12, 14, and 16. Then in 1950, she read an article in the National Geographic magazine about the Appalachian Trail and decided that she was going to thru hike it herself. Grandma Gatewood didn't tell nobody about it. And in her first attempt in 1955, she got super lost, ran out of food, broke her glasses, and a park ranger convinced her to go home, but that wasn't the end of it. Next year, she told her grown children that she was going for a walk, and without interrogation or explanation, she left to finish the hike. She was one of the first super light hikers, and didn't take a tent or a sleeping bag. All she took with her in her denim sack was a shower curtain for the rain, a Swiss Army knife, a pen, some iodine, band-aids, and a memo book. For food, she brought raisins, peanuts, Vienna sausages, and bouillon cubes. She ate berries and plants that she identified and foraged on the way. It took her 146 days to complete the thru hike from Georgia to Maine, averaging 14 miles a day. That's better than the average pace today, and the trail wasn't as neatly maintained. Following coverage by local journalists, her story was quickly picked up by larger outlets like the Associated Press and Sports Illustrated. And she was already famous by the time she made it to Maine. People were saving newspaper clippings about the trek and tracking her progress. When she got to the top of Baxter Peak, she sang the first verse of America the Beautiful and said out loud to herself, "I did it. I said I'd do it and I've done it." She told Sports Illustrated, "I thought it would be a nice lark. It wasn't." She said, "This is no trail, this is a nightmare. For some fool reason, they always lead you right up over the biggest rock on top of the biggest mountain they can find." But she did it, and she ended up going on the Today Show afterwards. She ended up thru hiking the Appalachian Trail 3 times altogether and was the very first person to do so. And in 1959, at the age of 71, she walked the 2,000 miles of the Oregon Trail, going from Independence, Missouri to Portland, Oregon, averaging 22 miles a day. According to the book about her, Grandma Gatewood's walk, at one point she told one of her daughters, "If those men can do it, I can do it."